What's up, African family? Today, we're going to explore the subject of health. You see, my brothers and sisters, whenever we talk about health, the health of a black man, the health of a black woman, the health of a black child, we need to mention the name of a remarkable man, a wonderful brother, a wonderful black individual, a beautiful human being. He is a prophet sent to us by our ancestors to warn us. He has spent more than 40 years of his life. He has dedicated more than 40 years of his life striving to educate us, to save us from an early death. His name, my brothers and sisters, please write his name in a piece of paper, because this man is a beautiful human being. He's a savior. Whenever you talk about the health of a black people, you need to mention the name Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi is a beautiful man, and he said the following, that when the Europeans, the Arabs, when they went to Africa to kidnap, to rape, to enslave our ancestors, and to bring them into a new continent, to South America, to Europe, to Asia, they brought the slaves, they brought the human beings, the prisoners of war, but they didn't bring the diet. They left the diet. They left the African diet, my brothers and sisters. The African diet. So Dr. Sebi is a specialist in health, and he mentions something very significant. He talks about alkaline. You see, the human body, the black organism, is an electrical organism. The human organism is an electric organism. It produces electricity. And in order to remain healthy and beautiful and dynamic, it requires electric foods, my sisters and brothers. It requires electricity. And you find electricity here, alkaline foods. Because if you don't take care of your health, of your organism, of your African organism, from the beginnings of time, before processed food was invented, black people specialized in natural medicine. They were naturally vegetarians. They couldn't produce milk, they couldn't produce bread or sugar, processed salt, Coca-Cola, genetically modified food. This is against the organism of natural people who require electricity. So acidic food, hybrid food, attacks the human organism. So whatever you eat, always think, is this alkaline or processed? Because processed food produce acid. And this is crucial, because then the acid removes something very important. You see, it removes the Maat. Maat is the African origin of happiness. Maat is balance. It's happiness. And the processed acidic food removes the balance. It produces radicals. These are the cells that are intoxicated because the food is toxic. You see, it will intoxicate the cells. And then when the cells becomes intoxicated, if you look at someone who's intoxicated, drinking, they don't walk straight. They tend to be radicals. They move into a different direction. They attack their own organism. Because the organism will then say, something is wrong here. We have some radicals. I need to defend myself. So it becomes a conflict, a struggle within the system. because the Maat has been compromised by processed food, acidic food. Many of us have adopted a European culture and we lost sight of our origin. So we eat processed food, we don't even question. We eat meat which is full of drugs. And then of course, the levels of diabetes, the levels of autism, the levels of sickle cell, the levels of heart attack, the levels of mental problems. Because, my brothers and sisters, when you remove the alkaline in you, you compromise the production of melanin. You see? You produce melanin is what keeps us alive. We need melanin, but we get melanin from here. So you consume processed food, you ignore electrical food because the propaganda, it comes into your mind. It fills your subconscious mind with the idea of eating sugar. You produce sugar, toxic food, processed food produces radicals. Radicals destroy the Maat, and then the health is compromised. Why? Because then your organism tries to find the balance, and then the radicals comes into play. Why? Because they're intoxicated. So my sisters, my brothers, we need to restore Maat. We need to restore the balance. How do we do that? We deal with the duality. Our ancestors, the Kemetic sciences, they gave us the duality. You have the moon and the sun, Hamun. You have Heru and Haset. You have Set, you have Heru. You have Heru represents daylight. Set represents night. They are both essential. They need one another in order to exist. But once Set or Heru becomes more powerful, we lose Maat. Because Set represents the subconscious mind, the night, when the body is rebuilding itself. Heru represents the daylight. And then when we consume processed food, we compromise Maat, and then one of them becomes more powerful. We lose the ability to be rational, and that's when we compromise our health. So my brothers and sisters, let's go back into our ancestors and find the music. Taseti, sunset, set, asset. This, my brothers, outset. Feel the music, the message is in the music, because African language is a musical language. It tells you that you have to restore Maat, my heart. You have to restore Maat, the mathematical harmony within your system. Pay attention, my brothers and sisters, to Dr. Sebi. Consume alkaline and produce the electrical element within you. Restore the balance. Hotep, African sisters. Hotep, African brothers. Hotep, African family. Let's restore Maat by consuming alkaline food and avoid processed junk food. Why? Because it destroys our organism. It compromises the production of melanin, intoxicates the cells. The cells becomes radicals and they're starting to go all over the place. And of course, the organism reacts. The self-defense mechanism reacts, and then there is a battle, there is a fight. It's called sickness, it's called disease, because the body loses the ease. There is an imbalance. So let's restore Maat by adopting our plant-based, vegetarian, if necessary, diet, the diet of our ancestors. Maat, the alkaline diet that produces the energy and makes the production of melanin a natural process. Hotep, my African family.